Hello and welcome to another video. Today, I want to talk about Hunter x Hunter and why I love this show so much. And I actually just finished watching it, and funnily enough, I started watching the show about a few months ago, and then I stopped right at the beginning of the Chimera Ant arc, like literally at the start, when the queen was like first starting to get developed and first starting to birth new ants. That's where I stopped because I thought, oh, the pacing is kind of boring. It's just gone and like Killua just talking to Kite, and that's it. But then once the ball started rolling and the queen started birthing these way more powerful ants that felt like fucking huge in comparison to even the hunters, that's when I was like fully like engaged in the entire show. And I'm not even joking. I think I just finished the rest of the show from like episode 77, I think was where I left it off, to the end in like 4 days. That's how good the Chimera Ant arc was, and not even that, just to the end of the show was. It was that good because the Chimera Ant arc was phenomenal. I don't care what anybody says to like discourage me. Oh, the Chimera Ant arc was boring. It was too long. To me, easily the best arc. And not this just like the put down the other arcs because they were really good as well. And especially Kurapika's fight against Ovogen and then just his entire involvement in the Phantom Troop and seeing him go after them was really badass and really cool. And honestly, his fight with Ovogen is still one of my favorite scenes in the entire anime. However, the Chimera Ant arc is so brilliant. Just from the way you get to see Gon like slowly, and spoiler alert, even though I already spoiled, the I don't know why I waited this long to give a spoiler alert, but spoiler alert for the Chimera Ant arc and just everything that happens later in the show. Just seeing Gon slowly turn into more of a monster, and especially in episode 131, I think that's one of the best episodes in all of anime. Full stop. Out of any anime I've ever watched, I think 131 is the best episode, not only in Hunter x Hunter, but one of the best episodes in all of anime. It is that good. Seeing Gon's transformation is so satisfying, but at the same time, so sad to see. Because you know that it's been building and building. You know that Gon's rage has been building and building and building because you know that Kite is like not in a good state, in the opposite of a good state. And then seeing him fully freak the hell out when he realizes that Kite is completely beyond saving. And Nafurapito, I'm still not exactly sure to pronounce her name, but I think that's her name. The crazy cat squadron, not the squadron leader, the royal guard for the king, and seeing her reveal that, even though you already know that, you already kind of expected that to be the result. Kite to be already dead because he been turned into a puppet. You already saw his head cut off, so you already know that he's dead. But just seeing Gon's reaction and seeing him freak out in episode 131 and completely give up all of his future potential and basically causing him to completely almost die just to beat this one royal guard is so satisfying to see, and is such a fucking so sad to see as well at the same time. It is brilliant. It is just, I know that like everybody under the sun that has seen the anime fully has already gushed about this scene, but it is so good and it deserves all the praise it gets. Not only this scene, the entire episode, but the entire show. Just seeing how the Chimera Ants in general develop more as characters and seeing them kind of interact sort of human-like, but still acting, still ant-like and still trying to like develop like the king and stuff and all this bullshit. But then seeing the king do a complete 180 after he interacts with Komagi, and then seeing him learn to become human little by little, and then seeing him to the point where he flips between these two sides of whether choosing to become full ant-like and just developing this full ant colony without even caring about anybody else. And then this human-like state where he only cares about Kamagi, and then seeing his human-like state basically win, and to the point where even in his final moments, because of Netero's, the chairman leader's bomb that just poisoned him to the point where what do I keep calling the squadron leaders? The royal guard and him had very little time to live. Seeing the king play his final moments with Komagi in Gungi is so beautiful. It is so sad, but so heartwarming at the same time. It is really, really nice. And even though it is really hard to redeem such a huge monster, especially as he was at the beginning when he was first born, killing these innocent people, seeing him learn and just develop into more of a human is so just heartwarming and nice to see. And it's just, goddamn, I just love just the king so much. Just his development is so nice to see. And also just seeing how much, especially even after the Chimera Ant arc even ends, seeing how much Killua cares for Gon to the point where he is willing to basically cut off ties with his entire family just to rescue him, just to save him. And then seeing when he actually gets to Gon and seeing him pick up his hands in the hospital bed and just seeing his hand fully, completely burned, completely gone, basically, is so sad to see. Even though he's going to be healed and he's going to be fine after that, it is still so sad to see because Gon completely gave up all of his potential, just basically used all of his potential he would ever gain in the future just to defeat the one crazy cat like Royal Guard. Is so sad. It is, again, just the development of all these characters, and especially just the interactions with all of them at the beginning of the show, and seeing how they slowly drift apart and go into their own arcs and develop as on their own as individuals is so nice to see. It is so satisfying to see. It is this probably one of the best paced animes I've ever seen. How it's even rivaling fucking Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood in terms of pacing. I'm not joking. I know a lot of people disagree with me on that, because everybody under the sun basically knows how good Full Metal Alchemist pacing is. I'm talking about Brotherhood, not like the original anime, but still, I do think Hunter x Hunter is brilliantly paced. Even though, I kind of stopped watching for that little brief moment, I think it is wholeheartedly worth to watch the entire show. Even though, as almost everybody knows, the full adaptation, because the manga was nowhere near complete, the ending isn't entirely done. They're still searching for the Phantom Troop. And the one flaw I can give the show primarily is just the fact that, it just ends right there. That mainly has to do with the manga more than the actual anime itself. But, just the fact that it ends there and you don't really get to see the end of what happens to, the Phantom Troop after they face against the ants and they return to their home. You don't really get to see what happens after that. I wish I got to see a little bit more of what was happening there. And also, a little tiny gripe, I wish I got to see a little bit more of what was happening with Kurapika. I know it's kind of alluded to that he was in this group of assassins to kill the Phantom Troop that he was at the beginning of the show. But I wish I could have seen a little bit more. And you did get to see a little kind of teaser that he was that he was glancing at Leoria, so it was kind of hinted that they would become, they would meet up again. So honestly, the biggest problem with the show is that it just simply ends. It just ends right there. I just wish it kept going. And so that's honestly why I wish I think everybody agrees with me. When everybody under the Hunter x Hunter fan base agrees with me, it deserves, once the manga is finished, and I have heard that, the mangaka, the manga author, is still has a lot of volumes to publish, and he's actually hinted on his Twitter that he is starting to kind of develop the manga again. I really do hope that there is a adaptation from where the 2011 adaptation ends off to the actual end of the manga. So I really hope there is one, because that is honestly, again, the biggest flaw I have with it is just that it ends too soon. And that's how you know how much I love an anime, when I don't really have any huge flaws with it, rather than just ends too soon. But I still don't even think where it ends off is a bad ending. It is a really good ending. Where it ends off is honestly the best with what they could do. At the time, again, it was only 2011. There was nowhere near as developed as even as it is now in terms of the manga. So where they ended it is perfectly fine. It is really, really good either way. And I really don't even feel dissatisfied with the fact that, it ended right there, even though I want to see more, obviously. And, again, the Phantom Troop isn't entirely gone. I still am perfectly happy with the ending. You got to see Jing or Ging, however you want to pronounce it, finally interact with Gong in a really, really, really just heartwarming and nice way. Finally get to see him act like a father. And it is just so nice. And seeing them just talk on the tree and laugh together, it's so nice. And it's also really heartwarming to see Killua, like, just being independent from Gon, to finally go on his own way to protect his little sister. God damn, dude. The entire show is just such a gut punch. It is just such a nice and heartwarming show, but at the same time, one of the most emotional and gut wrenching shows I have ever watched. Just seeing every character develop, and also the comedic relief of Leorio, and just seeing how everyone like interacts, especially at the ending where Gon gets to meet up with Leorio, and just seeing everyone's faces and getting to see everyone's cameo at the end is so nice. I am tired of talking because of how good this show is. It is just so good. Please watch this. Please watch the adaptation if you haven't already. Just read the manga. When the manga ends, I will probably read the manga. Right now, I don't really feel the need to, because I'm already started two other mangas. However, I really do love this show. Just don't like take me not wanting to read the manga as like, some sort of like bad thing. Oh, I don't like the show. No. It's simply because I'm starting two other mangas and I just want to read the manga when it's fully finished, or I just want to watch of like when the adaptation is like fully done. But yeah, that's basically it. Just the entire show is so nice to watch. Everything from the lighting, and also I really liked just kind of how big of a troll like Hisoka was, and the vice president, like chairleader, the chairman. I just really like to see how they kind of toyed with like Killua and Gong, and also just the rest of the chairman board. It was just really, really nice to see just them kind of fucking around. It was it was kind of funny, and also again, Leorio is just such a nice and just funny character. I really loved him as a character, and he's really good comedic relief, but also just one of the most caring characters. Honestly, he was probably the one, besides of course Killua and Jing, that cared for Gon the most, because he was actually the first one to call out to Gon and like say, "You need to fucking care about Gon, Jing. You need to go talk to him." And that actually probably encouraged him to actually go up and talk to, Gon fully, and actually talk with him one to one. So again, this show is just brilliant. Please watch it. I I I, I do not let the fact that the manga is not finished discourage you from watching the adaptation, because it's just amazing. But that's basically it. I don't have all else to say, and I will see you guys Later. Goodbye.